Hi guys, welcome back to the Be Jones Style channel. I'm Beth Jones and I am bringing you a new video today, a little bit of a sit down video. What I am sharing with you guys is my whole process when it comes to creating an Instagram photo. So that is just kind of the behind the scenes with Instagram and how I approach that, then the actual photo, and then how I edit the photo. I'm going to take you through the whole process, and then I am going to edit a photo I literally just took outside right now. First of all, I just want to hop into the overall idea of Instagram and creating content on the platform. For me, Instagram is my business. It's Be Jones Style. It's my brand. It's what I do, and it's how I represent myself in terms of my work. It's not my private life. It's personal, but in terms of Be Jones Style and the whole outfits and styling and my work, I approach Be Jones Style with very much the mindset that this is my business and I want to create really great content for that and put myself out there in the best way possible. If you're representing yourself as a brand, it's really important to know who you are as a brand. It's important to come up with maybe even like a sentence or a phrase or something that represents what your brand is all about. And for me, you guys know, it's always play dress up, which actually has helped me so much when it comes to Instagram, because really I started to consider everything I did through the lens of always playing dress up. So if I'm writing content, if I'm posting a photo, if I'm somewhere doing something, I try to think, how can I tell the story of always playing dress up? And in terms of my Instagram and my Instagram feed, I definitely have kind of bigger stories that I tell if it's a whole experience, or I'm traveling, or I'm doing like a little bit of my mini editorials, and all of those are going to have little stories within them, and I'm going to really grid those out and think how is it going to tell the story the best way. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is more just like those daily posts that I'm doing, that's really so much just what I'm wearing every day and posting the outfit of the day or whatever it is. And those are the little teeny moments where I'm telling the always play dress up story. It might just be an outfit that I wore that day. Next, decide how you're going to tell that story, what your images are going to look like. Not that every single one is the same, but that it kind of lives and breathes in the same way. Now, I know there are some amazing influencers out there who do this really beautiful thing where their whole feed is the same color palette. It just visually is so enticing as you look down their whole feed. I am not that girl, and I can't tell you how to do that. My Instagram is kind of like a mini magazine for me. I want every image to kind of be like a little mini editorial or something fun or inspiring. And like I said, it's going to tell that overall story of always playing dress up. So you're not going to look at my feed and see just this perfect one color, one filter, one vibe thing. Because honestly, that's not always playing dress up. Always playing dress up is changing every day and wearing something new and being inspired by something new or a character. So for me, my feed is just, I want people to look at my feed and feel like boop, 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 inspired, hopefully all different ways. So that's the overall inspiration. But then in terms of taking the specific images, deciding the type of photography that you want to feature. So I'm not a photographer. As you will find out, I don't do anything super high professional. But what I try to pull off in my amateur way is something that feels more like a fashion editorial, but not super glamorous or perfect. A little bit more gritty, a little bit more of just that everyday on the street, in a neighborhood, in the grocery store. I want it to feel kind of alive and tangible and something that inspires you to do it in your space as well. I love to look at magazine editorials that have that vibe, the ones that are shot on the street, or if it's a traveling type editorial where you feel like you're almost part of the trip in a way, or it's, like I said, in a grocery store, in a dry cleaners. The tip there to pull out is just deciding what your overall feed and inspiration is, and then in terms of your imagery, kind of what your inspiration is. I would suggest even on Pinterest or in your collections on Instagram, saving images that are the vibe that you like, the lighting that you like, the posing, kind of all of the stuff, and collecting them and really looking at it all and seeing where are you being attracted, what is similar theme through that. How could you pull that off on your own? And next is the equipment I use. Okay, here we go. First off, I do not shoot most of my images on my Instagram with a professional camera, which you probably can tell. I shoot it all with my phone. I like shooting my pictures with my phone. Something about it, like I said, for me, a lot of my photos I wanted to feel kind of gritty, alive, tangible, in the everyday, and for me the phone is the way to pull that off, because it's kind of more on the fly, and it's not too perfect because I'm not perfect. And of course I have worked with some amazing photographers and I absolutely love doing that, but for me that's kind of more of the, if I'm telling like a bigger story or an editorial, or I'm bringing you guys along on a whole experience, then I for sure love to work with professional photographers. I'm not one, so I really like to just use my phone. So that's the first piece of equipment that I use, nothing big deal. Second piece of equipment is a tripod. I will tell you probably about 85 to 90% of my photos on my feed are taken by me with a tripod. You can buy small little tripods for your phone that clamp, and you can just set it up anywhere and take a photo. This is actually a little bit of a bigger one. This is a Joby tripod. This is the clip that you get that goes on top of these tripods that you can then put your phone. This piece actually came with a smaller tripod and I just put it on here. You can really find these anywhere. Even I think I've seen them at CVS, like a little phone tripod with the little clamp. So here's the secret. I used to take this tripod in so many of my photos. I would literally pull my car up to a spot, set this on the hood of my car, and take my photos. Now, I don't actually like that as much because then it would limit my location and where I could take the photo and the angle of the photo. What I've started using is this big baby. This is just from Target. It's called Targus, and I just put, again, another one of those clips on it. What I like about this is I can be anywhere, hop out of my car, park it somewhere, and take this with me and take a photo. Another little trick, which I'll get into in a second, is I like my photos shot from lower, not at eye-to-eye level. I like them shot lower, so I actually like it just in its most short height, because that is actually the perfect height for most of my photos to be taken. So you also might be thinking, okay, you have a tripod, but then how do you keep taking photos, or do you just take one photo? I have a great app on my phone called Photo Timer Plus. It takes up to 10 photos. It spaces them out by however many seconds you want. You could have 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Most of the time, I take a lot of photos to get one photo. I would say if it takes 10 photos at a time, I might take up to 40 photos. Just take a ton of photos, because eventually there will be one that's what you want it to be. That's my main equipment that I use. I got some questions on Instagram about posing. And like I said, I take a lot of photos and I use that app, so it's taking a lot of different photos with spaced out time. So I just try to switch up my pose pretty much every shot. Now, sometimes it might be just subtle changes, you know, leaning back a certain way, tilting a head a different way, moving an arm, constantly changing it up. It can be slow. You can just do slight changes, but you could also kind of get crazy and just move around a ton and swing your arms different ways, walk and laugh, and just really change it up, because eventually in there something will work. I feel like I have to take off my earrings because they're making so much noise. You can actually see right now how the photo that I just took outside, I just kind of switched it up. I just popped a leg, leaned on a hip, nothing too crazy. This one was just kind of more simple. And if you're around other people, this is my tip, don't look at them. If you look at them, you will feel embarrassed, because then all of a sudden you start to think, what are they thinking of me? So just don't even look at them. If you just ignore them and don't make eye contact, then really you can kind of just do it and whatever. And really that's my last tip, is just not worry about how you look, what other people think. It's really about kind of just letting go, getting out of your head and just letting go. There's times I'm in my head and I might be around other people. I feel, you know, oh, they're watching me, and then I just kind of go stiff and I'm just really not doing anything. And then the photos are horrible because I'm in my head and I'm carrying what I look like, and then I get no good images from it. But the times that I just let go and totally free, that's when I get a good picture. Last thing I want to talk about is location and where I take my photos. Someone asked me on Instagram, do I, you know, kind of pre-plan my location, or do I just kind of magically have them appear throughout my day? And actually it's both. Sometimes I wear an outfit and I think about a location I already know about that's close to me that I feel like the outfit would work in. or I know the idea that I want, so I might want greenery or flowers or something like that, or I might just want a blank wall, or I might want more of a city vibe, you know. So I kind of think about maybe a little bit where I'd want to shoot the outfit, and then I will run through my head different ideas of where I know kind of has that vibe, and I'll go and try shooting there. Or it could be that I am up in LA running around all day, but I also want to take an outfit photo, and so I literally just kind of keep my eye out for places that I think would be good. Someone was also asking, do I shoot a lot of my photos all at once and then have like a backlog of outfits? I really don't do that most of the time. Most of it is what I'm wearing that day when I'm out and about, and I try to find a spot to take a photo. Now, when I'm doing a little bit more of those editorials, I am definitely shooting multiple images at once, and I'm choosing locations that are gonna really tell the whole story of the editorial. But in my everyday looks, it is on the fly.